Lunch on Thursdays. Lunch on Thursdays, written by Jennifer M. Rodriguez, illustrated by Beverly Burris. Hi, my name is Cassie. I am 7 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, and 6 days old, and I am in 2nd grade. There are 20 kids in my class, 11 girls and 9 boys. Mrs. Bowling is my teacher. She is funny because she told us her name is like the kind of bowling you do at the bowling alley. There are pictures of people bowling taped to the wall over her desk. I like it when teachers are funny. Every morning, Mrs. Bowling takes the lunch count. She tells us our choices and then counts how many people raise their hands for each choice. Today is Wednesday. Good morning, class. Today for lunch you have a choice between tacos with rice or chicken nuggets with tater tots. Please raise your hand if you would like tacos with rice. Mrs. Bowling counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thank you. Now, please raise your hand if you would like chicken nuggets with tater tots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Thank you. Jeremy, please take the lunch count to Mrs. Andrews in the cafeteria. Someday the choices for lunch are both yummy, and there are a bunch of kids that raise their hands for each choice. However, some days there is one really yummy choice and one not so yummy choice. On those days, everyone raises their hand for the yummy choice. On Fridays, we have a choice between pizza with a salad or a fish sandwich with green beans. When Mrs. Bowling counts the hands for pizza, she counts to 20. And when she asks who would like a fish sandwich, there are no hands to count. The worst days are Thursdays. Our choice on Thursday is either a hamburger with crinkle fries or vegetable soup with a grilled cheese sandwich. I know what you're probably thinking. You are probably thinking that when Mrs. Bowling asks who wants a hamburger with crinkle fries, that she has to count all the way up to 20. And you are probably thinking that when she asks who wants vegetable soup with the grilled cheese sandwich, she doesn't have any hands to count. Are you thinking that? Today is Thursday, and I am now 7 years, 4 months, 0 weeks, and 0 days old. Good morning, class. Today for lunch you have a choice between a hamburger with crinkle fries or vegetable soup with a grilled cheese sandwich. Please raise your hand if you would like a hamburger with crinkle fries. Mrs. Bowling counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Thank you. Now, please raise your hand if you would like vegetable soup with a grilled cheese sandwich. 1. Thank you. The kids in my class giggle quietly behind their hands and make disgusting faces with their tongues sticking out. Michelle, please take the lunch count to Mrs. Andrews in the cafeteria. Kevin leans over to my desk and says, "Only gross monkeys eat vegetable soup. Are you a gross monkey?" That makes Allison, Stephen, Chris, and John laugh. Then John starts making monkey noises. That makes the rest of the class laugh. Everyone except for my best friend Julie, that is. Julie looks at me with a sad face. That's enough, class. Open your spelling books to page 93. Let's look at your spelling words. What sound does the vowel A make in the word cap? Zach? It makes the sound like a monkey. That makes all the kids in my class laugh even louder now. Everyone except Julie, of course. I don't look at Julie this time. I just look down at my desk. I know what is going to happen next. I can already feel my face getting warmer, and my eyes are starting to have that tickling, burning feeling. I keep looking at my desk as I start to cry. Mrs. Bowling walks over to the chalkboard and writes Zach in the top corner. The rest of the class gets quiet because everyone knows that Mrs. Bowling is ready to write more names underneath Zach's name if they make any more silly noises. The A in cap makes the short A sound. Now, what happens to that word if I put an E at the end of it? What word is it now? Melissa? Now that word is cape, answers Melissa. Right! What kind of sound does the A make now? Kimberly? It is a long A, so it says its name, A. answers Kimberly. Very good. Now I want everyone to write their spelling words, and this time put an E at the end of each one. See what new words you can make. Cassie, may I please speak with you in the hall? All the kids watch me walk out the classroom door. Cassie, why are you crying? Mrs. Bowling asks. I feel sad when the kids tease me for picking vegetable soup instead of a burger, I say. You shouldn't let the kids make you feel sad about that. It's okay to pick vegetable soup instead of a hamburger. If you feel like eating vegetable soup, I think you should pick it. You're a smart girl for picking what you like instead of what the other kids like. I like it when Mrs. Bowling talks to me. She makes me feel like I made a good choice, even though the kids make me feel like I made a bad choice. That night at dinner, Mommy and Daddy ask me how my day was. I tell Mommy and Daddy what happened and what Mrs. Bowling said. Mrs. Bowling is right, says Daddy. You should choose what you like no matter what anyone else says. I would have picked vegetable soup too, says Mommy. I am just glad that tomorrow is Friday because I like pizza, just like the other kids. Today is Thursday again, and I'm 7 years, 4 months, and 1 week, and 0 days old. Good morning, class. Today for lunch you have a choice between a hamburger with crinkle fries or vegetable soup with a grilled cheese sandwich. Please raise your hand if you would like a hamburger with crinkle fries. Mrs. Bowling counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Thank you. Now, please raise your hand if you would like vegetable soup with a grilled cheese sandwich. 1. Thank you. The kids in my class giggle quietly behind their hands and make disgusting faces with their tongues sticking out. Julie, please take the lunch count to Mrs. Andrews in the cafeteria. Also, please tell Mrs. Andrews that I will be having vegetable soup with a grilled cheese sandwich for lunch today. Mrs. Bowling looks up at me and winks one eye before starting our spelling work. I feel a little bit better that Mrs. Bowling likes vegetable soup better than hamburgers, but that doesn't stop the kids from making fun of me anyways. At morning recess, Chris called me a veggie monster and then ran away gagging. Then in the lunch line, Brian picked up his hamburger, which was next to my vegetable soup, and said, "Ooh, your vegetable cooties got on my burger. Now I can't eat it." Now I'm sitting at the lunch table next to Julie, and she is eating her hamburger with crinkle fries, but I can't eat my vegetable soup. I look down at my plate and wipe my tears with my napkin as the kids near me hold their noses and laugh at me. When I get home from school, I eat all the snack that Mommy gives me. She made celery with peanut butter in the middle and some little squares of yellow and white speckled cheese. I still want more when I'm done with the first helping. Goodness, Cassie, why are you so hungry? Didn't you eat lunch today? Mommy asks. Not all of it. I guess I just wasn't very hungry today at lunch. Mommy looks at me closely, but I didn't look at her. I know if she sees my eyes, I'll have to tell her everything that happened at lunch, and I do not want to cry again. Later, when Mom is cooking dinner, the phone rings. Daddy answers it and says, "Well, hello there, Mrs. Bowling. How are you?" He looks at me. I see. Is that right? Well, thank you for letting us know. He hangs up the phone and says, "Cassie, did you have a rough lunch today?" I tell Mommy and Daddy everything that happened at lunch, and I start to cry. Mommy gives me a big hug, and Daddy says that I'm a brave girl for choosing what I like, even if the kids make fun of my choices. Another week has gone by, and today is Thursday once more. Now I am 7 years, 4 months, 2 weeks, and 0 days old. Good morning, class. Today for lunch we have a choice between a hamburger with crinkle fries or vegetable soup with a grilled cheese sandwich. Please raise your hand if you would like a hamburger with crinkle fries. Mrs. Bowling counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Thank you. Now, please raise your hand if you would like vegetable soup with a grilled cheese sandwich. 1. Thank you. Sarah, please take the lunch count to Mrs. Andrews in the cafeteria. Also, please tell Mrs. Andrews that I will be having a special guest at the teacher's table for lunch today. The class listens very closely to see if Mrs. Bowling will give a tiny clue about who the special guest might be. Could she have invited someone to come make balloon animals for us? Or maybe she has invited Mr. Martin, the fun old man who comes to read with us. We are all working on our spelling words when Zach asks out loud the question we are all asking in our heads. Mrs. Bowling, who is eating lunch with you today? All eyes stare at Mrs. Bowling, and she gets a great big smile. I think she's been waiting for someone to ask that question. Well, I'm going to have lunch with someone in this class. Someone very special, she says. Someone who ordered the same thing at lunch that I did. Mrs. Bowling, did you order a hamburger? Asks Melissa. No, I did not. I ordered vegetable soup with a grilled cheese sandwich for lunch today. It's one of my favorite meals. My heart jumps right into my throat and I smile as big as I can. It's me! Mrs. Bowling is going to have lunch with me. I get to sit at the teacher's table. I try to spell my next word, but all I can do is think about lunch with Mrs. Bowling. I don't remember if I've ever seen a kid sitting at the teacher's table. At morning recess, nobody makes fun of me. Julie and I even got to have the first turn on the tire swing. When it's time for lunch, Mrs. Bowling asks me to come to the front of the line with her, and we pick up our trays with vegetable soup and a grilled cheese sandwich. I follow Mrs. Bowling to the teacher's table and sit down where she points. Mommy and Daddy are sitting at the table too, and they both have vegetable soup. Mr. Royal, the principal of our school, is also sitting there with his vegetable soup. In fact, all of the teachers at the table are eating vegetable soup like me. I turn to look for Julie, and I see her waving at me. Then I see Kevin wave at me too, and Allison and John and even Zach. The whole class is looking at me and smiling, friendly smiles. No one is holding their nose, and there are no gagging noises. Mr. Royal says, Cassie, I sure am proud of you for making a good choice at lunchtime. I know how hard it is to have other kids make fun of you when you do something different from the rest of the group. You're a very smart and strong girl for standing up against the crowd. Look at your classmates sitting over there now. I think some of them wish they had picked vegetable soup today. Mrs. Pinson hands me a sticker. It has a picture of a steaming bowl of soup. Mr. Walker gives me a gift certificate to his favorite restaurant and says, you should go there on a Tuesday because that is the day they make the best vegetable soup in the whole city. At afternoon recess, all the kids want to know what it's like eating with the teachers and Mr. Royal. I tell them all about it and I show them my sticker. Mommy and Daddy said I could invite Julie to dinner on Tuesday when we use the gift certificate that Mr. Walker gave me. So I ask her, yes, Cassie, I want to go and taste Mr. Walker's favorite vegetable soup. Then Chris taps me on the shoulder and says, I'm the Burger Monster. I bet you can't catch me. And he runs away. The rest of us run after him yelling, the Veggie Monster is going to get you. It was the best recess ever. It's Friday, and I am 7 years, 4 months, 2 weeks, and 1 day old. Good morning, class. Today for lunch we have a choice between pizza with a salad or a fish sandwich with green beans. Please raise your hand if you would like pizza with a salad. Mrs. Bowling counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Thank you. Now, please raise your hand if you would like a fish sandwich with green beans. 1. Thank you. The class looks up at Brian, who is raising his hand for the fish sandwich. I like fish sandwiches, he says with a big grin on his face. The rest of the class smiles at him, and then we do our spelling. The end.